Welcome to the Middle-Raged podcast, where your hosts, Adam and Keith, get a bit cross about stuff that really doesn't matter. Bless them. Oh, and we should probably warn you that things can be a bit sweary at times.
Hello and welcome to this episode 2 of the Middle-Raged podcast with me, Keith A. Pearson, and my co-host, Adam Eccles.
Hello, good morning. How's it going?
It is going.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all I can say. It is going.
Are you suitably raged this morning? It's fine.
It's been a week.
Yes. It's been a week, hasn't it? Yeah. It's...
Do you think, since our first episode, that you've become heightened to your inner rage? Do you think, are you finding more stuff enraging now?
Well, it would be hard to find more than almost everything, but yeah, yes, and I'm making notes of those things as well. So yeah, it's just
very good.
Yeah,
there is no shortage of material, I would say.
No, the frustrations continue, and even seem to expand every day. So yeah.
Well, do you think we should start off with something that's less enraging? Actually, what we should talk about is the fact that I referenced you as co-host.
Yes,
because we had a bit of a blip on our first episode, didn't we?
That's right. We forgot what we were doing. Well, I did.
And that was a royal we. Would you like to remind the listeners how you referred to me?
My partner, I think I said.
You started off with my partner, and then it became my rage partner.
Rage partner, something like that. Yeah.
So
we through.
No, I think we quickly dismissed that as an option, and we currently don't have a moniker to reference one another. However, one of our lovely listeners has got in touch, and that would be Sue. And I think it gives you an idea, a feel of the caliber of people who listen to this podcast.
That's right.
That Sue is an academic.
Yes.
And Sue very kindly bought us both a coffee.
Yeah, cheers, Sue.
Yeah,
very nice. Very nice.
Very, very nice. I mean, not literally, but she went to buymeacoffee.com/middle-raged, and she bought us a coffee, which was
much
lovely.
Appreciated. Very
much appreciated. But Sue also gave us some ideas via the medium of ChatGPT.
Our AI pal, who we love to bitch about, yes.
Yes. Should we run through the list?
Yeah. So the first one is peeve partners.
He's my peeve partner.
That sounds a bit weird to me. Sort of a bit fetishy.
Okay, well, strike through that one.
Yeah.
Next one, Sulk Squad, which kind of only works on a group.
More than 3 or 4 of us, I suppose. But
I think we could probably use that as a reference to everyone listening to the pod.
The Sulk Squad.
The Sulk Squad. Or the Gripe Guys, which was the next one.
Yeah, that's so. I mean, we're getting there, but that sounds a bit like what's that stuff you give babies? Gripe water.
Gripe water. Yeah.
I don't know.
And the next one was Whinge Warriors, which I quite like actually. My Whinge Warrior. But I don't like whinging as a rule.
Yeah.
I think there's a difference between complaining and whinging, isn't there?
I think so. Whinging is just, there's no cause and no, and I think we have cause. So
just cause.
Just, yes, absolutely.
Okay, so we'll give that one we'll put that on a to be considered list. Yeah. And the last one, which I really, really like, but it's just a bit wordy, is curmudgeon companion.
Yeah. That's... What's those? You remember the 2 old guys in the Muppets?
Waldorf and Statler, wasn't it?
That's it, yeah. Those are curmudgeon companions, aren't they?
It does sound like how we would refer to each other if we were in a care home.
Yeah.
I had my curmudgeonly companion. We stuck us in a room together because nobody else would put up with us. There've been too many complaints, so we've had to put you in a room on your own.
Unfortunately, but yeah. But, it'd be fun bitching about all the other inmates.
Yes, the inmates. So I think that's still to be decided. So if you have any suggestions, anyone else, I mean, please let us know how we can refer to one another. But we'll stick for co-host for now.
Keep it polite.
Keep it polite, yes. And on the subject of buying us coffees, we've had a couple of others. So first, Ian, thank you very, very much. Ian bought us multiple coffees.
He did. Cheers, Ian.
He did it anonymously, so we're assuming that he doesn't... if anyone can hear any bonging noise, it's because I've had to have my email open. You can't hear it, can you?
Hear it, no.
Okay,
no.
Maybe it's just me, or it could just be the bonging in my head. Every time I get enraged, the bong goes off.
That's fair enough.
Yeah. Sorry, we digress. So, Ian, thank you very, very much. Genuinely is appreciated.
Yes.
And also, Gabe from across the pond.
That's right. Dear old Gabe. Thank you very much, Gabe. Yeah, terrific first episode. Looking forward to more. Good man.
Excellent. Now, because Gabe's from the sort of New Yorkie area, I was going to do something in a New Yorkie type accent, but overlooking the fact I cannot do a New York accent, it would just sound awful. So, probably best we don't go there.
No.
Okay, so thank you to all three of you for chipping in. I mean, your donations, genuinely they do mean a lot. But also on a more practical level, it helps us pay for crap that we don't want to pay for, but we have to pay for. So
yes,
we're very grateful, and we do like complaining about the crap we have to pay for.
Absolutely, I had to pay for something today, so
just to hear that our dulcet tones. Adam had to dip into his pocket.
Piggyback.
Adam's pocket. Sorry, I don't know where I'm going with that. Should we get on with the raging?
Yes, okay. Right. My rage point of the week. I'm going to start this by saying I failed everything in school.
The end.
Yeah. So I'm not in any way, academic. I hated school. I didn't really listen to a single word they said and whatever. I failed everything, left at 16. And I'm fine for that. So, but what I'm trying to get across is that I'm not, super academic in any kind of way. Yeah. Oh, yeah. As a teacher. So yeah, that's my opposite of me, right? But what my rage is about this week is punctuation is not optional. And grammar sort of thing in general, spelling and things like that. Now, I understand that when you're typing on your phone, it's not a keyboard really. It's a little glass screen. But after all these decades, I think we're fairly used to that, right? And there are tools on your phone to correct things easily. And it's not even about incorrect spelling so much, but more about. I see this a lot on Facebook. For some reason, but I also see it at work, right? And that I feel like
that's
Facebook.
Worrying.
Okay, yeah, there's no excuse in work emails to just vomit out a long stream of words with no commas, no full stops, no carriage returns, nothing, just a lump of text. And you have to think about who's going to be reading these words, and whether they could be asked to read them after that, right? So you see a big lump of text with no punctuation. It's hard to read. Now, I write books, right? So, I'm coming from that angle. I want to see the words on the page as a sort of, flow into your head. And we have the technology to make words on the page come alive in your head. It's called the 26 letters of the alphabet, capitals where necessary and not where unnecessary, commas that give you a pause, and full stops that or question marks, exclamation points. All of that stuff is in the phone, and you can tap it easily. It's right there, and you can break up your dump of ball of words into little biteable chunks, and they make it much easier for people to read. And I just see this so much that there's some kind of, I don't know, pandemic here going on. What is wrong?
Do you think? Sorry to interject. Do you think that this is indicative of it's a generational thing, maybe, or do you think it's we're all guilty?
No. So I was thinking about that. Is it young people? No, I've actually seen it in young people, old people, all kinds of forms of life, male, female, whatever. It doesn't seem to.
Well, this is a fully inclusive rage.
yeah. Everybody who has access to post something on the internet, I think, and that's more or less everybody these days. And I just here's the thing, right? If you're only medium of publishing to the world is by text in a Facebook post, then I don't know anything else about you. I see this maybe in some group that I'm in. I don't know this person, So your presentation to the world is this small snippet of lazy text that's littered with mistakes, no punctuation whatsoever, literally none. Honestly, it makes you look stupid. Because I have no other context. I don't know why you're writing like that. Are you on a bus or something? I don't know. But you remember when people sent SMSs, like on the old sort of Nokia flippy phones?
Yeah, you had to push a button 3 or 4 times to get your letter.
Even then, I took the time to just write a fucking proper word and punctuate it properly, right? But you could kind of you could accept that somebody might shorten a word or not bother or whatever, right? But
that was a real ball ache from memory.
Yes, it was. Yeah, and it cost like 10p a go as well. So
shocking.
But we have progressed in technology, and I don't know. I think people, the people who are posting these things, right? I'm going to assume that they aren't actually illiterate fools. But it seems that way, right? And I don't think that's how you want to present yourself. It makes you look stupid. It really does. It makes you lazy. That's the nub of this, right? I think it's just laziness.
I was going to say, I mean, we're all guilty of this, aren't we? We've all written something when we're either tired or angry or drunk or all three.
Yes.
And then you go back and go, okay, yeah, I posted it. Now, I mean, particularly on Twitter X, where you post something and unless you pay Mr. Musk, you don't get the chance to edit it. And then you can spend 15 minutes carefully crafting what you perceive to be a witty response to somebody else's post. And then you submit it and then you think, shit. You can see the typo just jumps out at you.
And to be honest, I would be fine with that. A little typo here and there, fair enough. If you go to France or something, right, and you just blatantly can't be asked to speak any kind of French, well, you're probably going to get average service. But if you make this small effort to say merci or whatever when they bring you coffee, you'll get a slightly better response from the world, right? It's being polite. So I think it's the same kind of feeling, right? You might make a mistake when you speak French, but at least you tried. And I can see where you're going with this now. So essentially what you're saying is that these people who
just throw words into a post, they're actually offending you.
Yes. Most definitely.
They're disrespecting you in some way.
Well, they just haven't bothered to learn the language of the medium that they're posting in, right? Which is I think it's laziness
rather than learning, though, isn't it? I mean, we all know how to we probably should stress here this: we're not talking about people that have perhaps dyslexia or anything like that. It's sheer laziness.
Yeah, it's just laziness, right? So, and often these posts are in something like a car forum or whatever, and they're asking for help. But I reckon that if you're asking for people to help you with something, they should at least have the politeness to structure your message in a way that people can fucking read it, right?
Make it understandable. That would be helpful.
Yeah. So look, I'm going to try and read out a very short thing that I found. I mean, over the years, I've found millions of these things, and that's why I'm so raged about it, right? It's, because it's all walks of life, all over the place. But I don't record them, right? So, but the other day I just saw something and I thought, right, this is what I'm talking about.
Grab your popcorn, folks.
Yeah, deep breath, because there's absolutely no commas or full stops. So, looking at changing R211 ID4 for standard range Tesla YW, what range people getting in winter on motorway? We do Dublin, Lismore in Waterford one or twice a month, and it not great having to stop. Like that.
Oh, is that it?
What the fuck does that mean? That was it. That's just the post.
There were a collection of words there.
A lot of words.
Some of them made sense individually. Collectively, not really sure I get what they're asking.
It's just... So, I mean, this is the thing, right? Now, I have to spend effort, brain cycles, trying to decipher what this bollocks is. I mean, I don't. I can just ignore it, right? But it's on my screen because I look at electric car stuff. And so here I see this bollocks, right? So, and then, so also the word R, looking at changing R, that's A-R-E instead of O-U-R. Like, come on.
I'm going to give them that one on the basis that how many times have you done the T-O or T-O-O?
That bugs me as well.
Yeah,
but anyway,
I have to say I have been guilty of that myself, especially when you're sort of rushing, because it's not a typo per se, is it? So
okay, fair enough. And one that always gets me is, especially when I'm writing, right, is it's or. It apostrophe S. I always forget which one is those. I mean, that is to say, I can forgive that kind of stuff, but that lump of text, I'm not going to read it again because fuck that. But
what's your feelings on the there?
Oh,
does that bug you?
Oh, horrific. Now, yes, I can't stand it. I don't want to come across as a grammar Nazi, but. As I say, I just think it's lazy, and I think that if you're asking for help, you shouldn't be lazy about it, right? You put in the effort. It's just impolite. Anyway. Yeah.
I see this a lot. I follow a particular football team, and we have a fans forum, an online fans forum, and when you're reading it on a computer, it's fine. But when you're reading it on a phone, and what people don't do is they don't break up their sentences, so you have this sort of spiel that goes on and on and on. And what I don't think people realise is that nobody or fewer people are going to look at that because it just gives you a headache. You just think, I can't. If you make your points, don't just spew words out. Stop.
Yes. Imagine if we didn't use any punctuation in our chapters in books, right? You couldn't read. You literally wouldn't be able to read it. You'd have a headache after trying to read a page. You'd run out of breath because subconsciously, when you're reading, you're hearing the voices in your head and everything. Or you're making up voices, whatever, but text messages and short messages are like a direct, telepathy into someone's head, basically.
This might be a fever dream I once had, but I'm sure somebody wrote a book And it was, a lot of words, sort of 400 words. 400 words, that's not a book, is it? 100,000 words, so 400 odd pages.
Right.
And it was all one paragraph.
You're
was
right.
it one sentence? I can't remember.
That was only recently, wasn't it? I can't remember the name.
Certainly within the last year or two. And I think it got quite a lot of critical acclaim.
No doubt, right? I mean, imagine editing that. But like a stream of consciousness type of thing. But I bet you he or she had punctuation.
Yeah. So it goes to show, I mean, if you can write an entire novel in one sentence or one paragraph or whatever it was and still make it, clearly people could understand it, I'm guessing. Yes. I haven't read it myself.
No.
But imagine the narrator who had to do the audiobook.
Poor bastard, yeah.
9 of them died. It was the 10th one. They decided to give it up.
Harsh. But,
deep breath.
Yeah. So, I mean, look, this is... at work, I obviously see people from other countries, right? English is not their first language. I forgive those people because, fair enough. But they do try. One that really bugs me, I see this a lot at work, is from people who should know better, the wrong tense of the word advice, right? So they're asking, can you advise me? And I'm like, no, I can't, because that isn't a thing. What the fuck does that mean? Can you advise me? It should be advise. But also, this is maybe a different topic, I suppose, for another show, but worky language, businessy language, fucking drives me insane.
This is definitely, yeah. Oh. It's opened up a broader rage, hasn't it, within you?
Yeah. Should probably quit while I'm still sane. But yeah, that's it. Please, for the love of God, if you want me or anybody really to read your messages on the wonderful internet, punctuate your sentences. Commas, full stops, question marks, and exclamation points. At the bare minimum. There are others, but we won't even mention them. Just those things. And return carriage returns, line breaks.
Yeah, the odd break your paragraphs up a bit, please.
Yeah, that just makes it so much easier to read. It makes it look like you've bothered, and it makes everyone more happy about reading the output that you're.
Would you imagine if people did this on things like data? Here's a question for the listeners. So if you want to just imagine you were single and you went onto a dating website and you saw somebody who ticked all your boxes and no, and but their actual profile was like full of grammatical, just a stream of bleh.
Yeah.
Would that put you off?
I'd love to hear what people think about that, because that has put me off, and I definitely would just swipe in whatever direction I'm supposed to swipe to get rid of somebody. Yeah, I don't know what is left or right. I don't know, but yeah,
I can't help you there. But.
No, I don't know. I hate that stuff. But yeah, no, that's a massive turn-off. Right? If you can't spell, if you can't punctuate, if you can't communicate, because if you're in a relationship with somebody, you're going to be talking to them or texting them.
Well, one assumes.
Hopefully, yeah. Texting and writing email, whatever. And if you had to put up with that effluent every time you checked your phone, that's not going to fly. That's just road to disaster.
So, yeah. Please let us know if that would be a deal breaker, or is it a red flag? Poor grammar.
Yeah.
Would you turn someone down?
It would be. I reckon.
Okay.
Would you? Hot stuff.
Hot stuff. So this is so there is Miss Wright on a dating website, and but her grammar is a bit. Well, it depends, doesn't it? I guess is it just a little bit? Mind you, something like that. That's got to be the best. It's like your picture, isn't it? So nobody would put a terrible picture of themselves.
There you go.
On a dating website. So logic suggests if you're going to choose the best picture you can that makes you look as good as possible, then surely you would do the same with your profile.
You'd think
by,
so,
you know,
yeah.
putting in some.
I don't know if anyone ever reads that, right? They're just too busy swiping. But yeah, if you dig into, you see somebody, they look tasty, and then you tap on their
Tasty.
yeah, and then you see this hogwash of text. That's me done at that point. Sorry.
Yeah.
Move
Okay.
on. All right.
There we go.
Right, wrapping it up. Please, just punctuate.
Okay, so let me just adjust my chair because this one's going to get me going. Okay.
Right. Are you sitting comfortably?
Okay, so my rage point this week is companies requesting feedback.
Oh, Christ.
Now, just for the sake of clarity, I'm not talking about small businesses, you know, your local takeaway asking for a review. You know, reviews, as authors, we would, you know,
We like
certainly
those.
say they're very, very helpful. They're helpful for other people that buy products, blah, 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 services, and they're helpful for small businesses. So this is not reviews. This is big national, multinational companies who request feedback via the form of a survey.
Feedback. Yeah.
So let me just, all of you, here's a little sort of bit of homework for you. Go into your email and just filter out or do a search for the word feedback. And unless you delete these meticulously as you go, you see how many companies have requested your time over the last few years.
For a short survey or something, yeah.
Yeah, if only they were short, which brings me on. In fact, there are several reasons why I hate this practice, detest it, why it boils my blood. Can I go through them?
Let's have
Will you indulge me?
I'm keen to know. Yeah, I mean, I agree 100%. But yeah, let's hear it.
Okay, so I'm gonna. This is a case study based upon my energy supplier, who. So they would. I don't have a smart meter. Don't ask me why. I think it's because they've got to come around and turn the electricity off for a whole day or something. I can't be bothered with that.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so they harass me regularly for meter readings, and so every time I do it, so I submit the meter readings once a quarter, whatever, and then I get this email. Okay, and this happens all the time. The first one arrives, and I'm going to read it verbatim. I won't say which supplier it is. Some of you may know, but it's a big one, and they're based in Britain.
Okay.
It says, "Hello, Keith. We'd love to know more about your recent experience submitting a meter reading." And it starts off, the title of this is, "Tell us how you feel."
What the fuck? How you feel?
How I feel about submitting a meter reading.
Wow.
I mean, I don't know really what to say about that. I mean, I feel you're assholes. I mean, I detest you profiteering.
You don't feel happy about it. Then you're saying is that it doesn't
No, I
make
don't.
you
I mean,
euphoric?
how you? Why does everything have to be about feelings? At the end of this is a business transaction. I'm a consumer and you're a provider, and I'm stuck with you because every energy company is,
Bastards,
charging stupid amounts of money. So I can't go anywhere else. I'm literally stuck with you. So don't ask me how I feel. It's almost like a sort of abusive relationship, isn't it? Don't gaslight me. You know how I feel. I feel angry. You keep putting my direct debit up. I can't afford to feed my kids. That's how I feel. Tossers.
There's this kind of move in the last decade or more, where companies want you to sort of be happy about paying your bills. They're all this sort of advertising around direct debit or automatically paying or whatever. It's all like, oh, I'm so happy because I paid all my bills. You fucking
Do you get ever? I can't remember which one it was, but I got an email back that said, "High five, your balance is paid," and you think,
oh yeah,
come on,
Christ.
This is not. I'm not celebrating with myself here that I've just paid my water bill or whatever it was.
Yay! It's bloody disgusting, isn't it?
I think they over egg how much they think we give a shit about.
And that's the thing, right? Is that behind all these things, so somebody had to write that. Somebody had to come up with it. And do they also not have their own electricity bill? Right? I think this is the sort of endemic of the disconnection of reality in the world. You know?
Yeah.
And then asking you how you feel about it. Like, you fucking know. You have a bill.
Resentful is how I feel. And I think everyone, how do you feel about paying your utility bills, right? Most people would say, no, not most people. I think virtually everyone would say resentful, reluctant.
Is that an option on the drop down? No.
Which brings me nicely on to the second point. So let's imagine, right? Actually, I'm still on the first point. Let me just round that one off. This company, I almost said them then, they sent this email, and then 3 days later, it wasn't 3, so the 13th and the 15th, so 2 days later. Is that 2 days? Yeah, 13th to the 15th. That's 2 days later. A reminder.
Ooh.
Oh, hey, we're still here. And then 2 days again, we still haven't heard back from you.
So this isn't about... This isn't the actual meter reading. This is just how you feel about it.
No. This is just how I feel.
Wow.
So the first email, obviously, I ignored.
Yeah, obviously.
And they thought, well, okay, so Keith hasn't got back to us. We still don't know how he feels.
Oh, God,
and this
how does he feel?
Clearly important. So we're going to send him another email just to check in on him, I guess. Make sure he's all right.
You okay, mate?
Yeah. And then still, I obviously ignored that. And then another couple of days ago, past another email. Wow. Come on. Piss off.
Wow.
Stop emailing me.
Jesus.
So that's the first part of this. So it's the nagging, right?
Yes.
And they all do it. So if you don't respond initially, then there's this nag. So that's the first part. So let's assume that at some point you succumb to this nagging and you go and you click through to this, what turns out to be a survey.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if have you ever looked at one of these things?
Oh, yeah, sadly, yes.
Now,
not pleasant.
If there was just sort of 3 questions, right? And they were fairly, was your problem resolved? Blah, 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 yes, no, that type of thing. Are you, what was your general overall satisfaction rating? Yeah, fine. So 2 or 3 questions takes 10 seconds. I could live with that. All right.
Yes.
But they're not. They are generally at least a dozen or so questions. I did find one this morning for an airline that had 75 questions.
Jesus Christ.
75 questions.
That's a
now,
lot.
Nobody's going to fill that in, are they?
No. I mean, you get into the first page and you think, I'm bored here. I'm waiting for the, kettle to boil or something. But then you think, oh Christ, no, fuck this. And
but people were employed or paid to sit around in a meeting and discuss this.
Oh yeah, guaranteed. Yeah, lots of meetings, not just one.
But nobody within this meeting said, do you think 75 questions might just be asking a bit too much?
Tad too much, yeah. No, they slip by.
See, I in that instance, if I was filling out a survey that long, I would deliberately just give them wrong answers. I would mess up their data.
Yes.
Just out of spite, out of rage.
Well, and here's the thing: are they going to do anything with that data? Do you think at the end of it?
That brings me on to my third point.
Right.
But on the second point, and also the questions as well. They're so opaque. How do you? And again, this comes back to this: how what was your overall experience like? I'm submitting a meter reading. It wasn't an experience. I didn't go to Centre Parks. How can I possibly answer that? I found nothing. Angels. I was dead inside when I plugged those numbers in. It's not something that I gave any thought to or give a shit about. So don't ask me to sort of rate how this was as an experience.
Angels did not dance upon your, dick or something.
It's just, these are ridiculous questions. On a scale of 1 to 10,
strongly disagree.
And some of these, have you noticed that they're worded? Would you recommend us to friends and colleagues?
No.
Yes. And they sort of, so it's definitely, very much so, absolutely, probably, no. So, you know what I mean? It's like 4 of the options are yes, I would. 1 of them is no.
Yeah, no, they want you to say yes. Yeah,
we know what you're doing, you sneaky shits.
Yeah, unsurprisingly, I work for in a big corporate thing, and we have this shit all the time internally. We have to do an annual survey about everything, and it's all of these questions that are very much leading you to an answer that they want to hear. And it's all supposed to be anonymous as well. It's not anonymous. Fucking lies. I hate this shit.
Going back to the point you raised, and this is really what happens to this stuff, because nothing ever changes.
No, of course not. Yeah.
One would assume that if there's anything positive, they can all give themselves bonuses, pat themselves on the back, promotions, pay rises.
Lovely job, Luke.
Oh, look,
we did such a great job with our meter reading app.
Keith is feeling slightly less than dead behind the eyes. That's yeah. So
they collate this info, and then they maybe ask an AI bot to summarize it, and then they say, well, mostly it's good positive feedback, so we're going to just do nothing. Thanks.
Mostly.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, right? Now, if you run a small business and you get customers giving you feedback and saying, well, this thing is wrong, or you could do this better, that's useful, and you can do it and you can make improvements. These companies don't give a shit. I mean, they do not care.
Of course not.
If you actually put in, this is the bit that really riles me. So let's imagine you go in, you answer these questions, and then they get this bit that says, there's a field where they actually want you to explain your answers.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, right? Yeah. I've given you ratings, low, granted.
Obviously.
Now you want me to explain myself. Why? Because nothing will happen. I could spend half an hour giving you valid reasons why I do not give a shit about my feelings about meter readings. What are you going to do with this? Nothing.
Nothing.
Literally nothing. It's a waste of my life.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you do all that, nothing would happen, and then the next time you do a reading, they would send the same exact load of crap.
Oh, yeah. And so it's the circle of life, isn't it? It's no matter what you say, nothing changes.
No.
And all we know is that we're paying for this as consumers.
Yeah.
But we're paying these organisations to send out this shit, to do nothing with it. And to sit around and have meetings about new and inventive ways that they can irritate us.
Yeah, I imagine them in the meeting. They've all got big ties, those wide ties that just signifies I'm a dork. And they're really excited about this new email format that they've come up with. It's going to drive lots of feedback because we did a course at some point that said getting feedback is good. Don't know what we're going to do with it, right? But yeah, we thought it would be a good idea. And statistics. This is all about getting numbers and statistics, right? And the famous Mark Twain quote: "There are lies, damn lies, and statistics." Yeah. And you know, in their annual review meeting about the feedback on the meter reading, they say they manipulate the statistics to say. It was all good. Yeah, it's brilliant feedback. So here we go, bonuses. Everybody happy.
If you're ever watching TV and you see an advert that makes some sort of statistical claim,
8 out of 10, whatever.
Yeah, famously 8 out of 10 cats who clearly had no opinion because they're fucking cats. Anyway, when you look at if you look at the bottom of the screen, they actually do a breakdown. They have to now. They have to put a breakdown of the data, and it's like we asked, and then in a poll of 3 people, 2 people didn't respond.
It's always
one person
really
said
low
we
numbers, isn't it?
Yeah,
they went
'cause
out
if-
onto the street in Milton Keynes and stood there with a microphone for 15 minutes, and of the 7 people that could be asked to stop and didn't tell us to piss off.
This is actually, now you've mentioned, this is like the online version of the person who approaches you in the street with a clipboard.
Yeah. Oh God. Yes. And this is the other thing about these kind of surveys, is the only people who are going to respond are either super enraged and they think that, well, like us, and
Yeah.
they think that feeding back is actually going to do something because they had a shit experience, and so you're going to get a skew of pissed off people. Or the other thing is people who are so bored, so unbelievably, lacking in anything in their life that they're going to sit there watching, I don't know, daytime TV, and then they're like, oh, got a survey. This will give me some meaning for my day, and I'm going to fill in the survey. But they're just going to put in whatever because it's just a bored thing.
But when you think about it, now I can understand you can do surveys online and for money, well, peanuts, but
oh yeah,
you can sign up for things like YouGov or whatever it is, and you can do surveys and you actually get something for your time, albeit absolute pittance. But these companies, they want not only have you given them your custom, either willingly or unwillingly when it comes to energy suppliers, but then they want more of your time. They want to litter up your inbox, and then, now please tell us how you feel.
I tell you what, if you offered me 20 quid off my electricity bill,
yeah,
I might tell you how I feel about the meter readings.
Now that's the thing, right? Why not? Okay, you want my time. You've already had my money.
Yeah.
So, knock some. Don't expect it for nothing. These are companies making billions of pounds. Now you've really got me going on that. And now they want my time for free.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Exactly.
Sorry.
Shove it.
Push me over the edge, that one.
All right. But yeah, valid points. Yes. So I suppose what surveys of listeners got that really just annoyed them. I tell you what, I think I bought something. eBay always asks you for feedback, right? And I only use eBay like occasionally to buy batteries or something. Because I'm not living in Ireland. I'm not allowed to buy batteries anymore.
Really?
Some Brexit bollocks. But yeah.
Okay.
So they get this fucking email from eBay like, how did you... Can you rate your experience? Well,
buying batteries.
I bought some batteries and they came in the post. I don't know what else to say.
How did it make you feel, Adam?
Excited and.
Well, I suppose it depends what those batteries were for.
My home light switch things,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Anyway.
We won't mention the real reason. Anyway, so that's so if you've had a particularly infuriating survey, please let us know. That's mail@middlerage.uk.
Yes.
And if you're involved in market research in any way, shape or form, then
Christ, sorry.
Satan damn you.
Yeah, I mean, it can't be very fulfilling life, can it? Knowing that everyone hates you. Right.
And on that bombshell.
Okay. Look, yeah. Are you wrapping it up?
I'm gonna, but only because I can feel my
Bile, yes.
My blood pressure getting to a point now.
Fair enough.
I could possibly have a coronary live on the podcast. And I know you probably wouldn't edit it out, would you?
Depends. It's entertaining. Christ. Anywho, okay, good stuff. Well,
shall we move on to the happy endings?
Oh yes, happy endings. Forgot about that.
Yes,
yeah.
you forgot. Yeah, let's just bring us back down. Just calm us down.
Right, happy ending.
Should we remind people what our happy endings are, just in case anyone's just tuned into this first one and they're slightly concerned that something's going to go off that they don't ever want to listen to?
We're not going to be doing anything with oil.
Okay, good.
That's what it's not going to be.
Happy ending is basically it's just to bring us back down. So we want some balance, and it's good. It's good to rage, but ultimately you don't want to have a heart attack.
No.
So we like to quickly mention something that's put a smile on our face, made us feel slightly less enraged
about the world.
This week. So what's your happy ending this week?
Well, so I live in Ireland, but my wife is actually American, right? So we sort of celebrate, and I use celebrate in the loosest term possible, Thanksgiving every year. What it means really is just a big roast dinner.
Wow.
And it's turkey, and it's basically I thought, initially this is a bit silly, really, but whatever. It's like a rehearsal for Christmas dinner, so a month early. So it's turkey and all the trimmings,
Do you have pigs and blankets?
Oh, damn! I forgot those.
I've just ruined Adam's happy
this is
happy
why you
ending.
do a rehearsal. Christmas dinner, I'll make those. But all the other stuff, buttered leeks and roast parsnips, roast potatoes, mashed gravy, the whole caboodle, really. And it's a lot of work. It's a lot of expensive work, actually. And
a lot of starch.
It's not. It's not a healthy option, really. And I've got bloody turkey now for the rest of the month. But I do like a nice roast dinner, and so it was nice to just sort of splash out and have that. So that's.
Did you have a pudding?
Nah, ice cream, I suppose. Yeah, but
okay.
not. I don't know what the traditional puddings are, but in America. But no, it's nice.
Have you ever? I've always fancied spending like 3 months in America, in like living in a suburban sort of community somewhere, maybe in the northeast part of the world, part of the country. That period from sort of late October through till Christmas, because maybe it's just the movies, but they just seem to do things.
Yeah, and up in that neck of the woods as well, you see huge forests that are all going orange and everything. It's nice. And then snow. There's parts where they have proper, winter with proper snow, and we don't seem to get that these days, do we?
No, we don't. We get grey, moribund, nothingness. Yeah,
the Dickensian, snowy Christmas time seems to have faded away. So you have to go elsewhere.
We'll find something to or someone to blame on that.
Yeah, but so Thanksgiving, thanks. It was a nice dinner.
Excellent. Well, mine is people will be aware that or may not and will not care. I'm a big fan of the author Bill Bryson.
Oh yes,
who has written many books. But probably most famously known for his travel books, Notes from a Small Island, Walk in the Woods, etc., etc. Now, Bill, I said Bill like we're mates or something. Never spoken to the guy. And the restraining order is still in force, so that's not going to change. But he actually retired from writing novels.
Did he?
Some years ago.
Can you do
that? Yeah, you didn't know that?
No, I didn't realise. I thought you were in for life.
No, I'm sorry, I've just ruined your... I guess you get to a point where you've probably made a few quid. You think, well,
can't be asked
fuck doing that anymore. And I guess Bill's just reached... we just ran out of stuff to write about because he's not... you can't just make stuff up. He's not a novelist, is he?
Okay. Yeah.
So I guess he's just run out of interest or stuff that interests him enough. But anyway, I'm a big fan, particularly travel stuff. And I stumbled upon... on Spotify of all things, and I don't know if this is available on other platforms, but it's called the BBC Bill Bryson Collection. I mean, great title. I mean, really imaginative, that. And it's a collection of all his radio shows that... I say radio shows, I mean, he's done like sort of documentary style stuff on the BBC in the past, and they've basically collated this whole lot together. And there's hours and hours of it. This sort of cache of Bill chatting away about stuff. There's a series he does about the formation of America and the language, and how things have sort of peeled off. And it's no spoilers, but it's just really, really interesting. And I love his voice. He's got one of those sort of weird voices that just is quite calming.
You should do a podcast.
You should do. But to come across this cache of Bill Bryson related material, made me very, very happy. And I've already consumed a couple of hours worth of it. And I've still got quite a chunk to go, which hopefully I'll be able to stretch out all the way up to Christmas. So that has definitely
nice.
Definitely made me happy. And if you like Bill Bryson, go and look at his book. Hey, you may not have heard of him. Go and look up his books. Notes from a Small Island. That would be the place I would start. And just, I would love. It's one of those things, isn't it? Would love to go back and your favorite books or favorite movies or stuff, or even your favorite music. You imagine being able to forget it and then enjoy it all over again.
Yeah, that happens later in life, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Whether you like it or not. Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Notes from that's about him moving to the UK or something, wasn't it?
That was his first trip to the UK, and it's just his experience. He was a huge sort of obviously read about the UK and England and blah blah blah, and so he had this sort of preconceived idea, and to actually hear his experience, seeing it through this sort of. He grew up in Iowa, in Midtown, middle of nowhere, very sort of isolated, and to be sort of thrown into, the melting pot that is England in, I think it was the 70s maybe.
Right.
Yeah, no, yes. Really, really interesting book, and he's got such a dry wit that he can make even the most mundane of subjects interesting, which I think is a real skill.
Nice one.
So I think that's us done.
That's us.
Bar something that we would like to announce on this arse end. We're going to call the arse end of the podcast. Now we have a rather limited marketing budget for our podcast. How much is it, Adam?
I think it's about £0 and 0 pence.
Fuck all.
Yeah,
that's right. So for us to sort of get the word out there, what we would like to do is enlist you, both our listeners. So what we propose, if anyone and everyone who puts a post out on social media, I say social media, Twitter or Facebook, because they're the only two that we bother with.
Yeah.
And you obviously have to tag us in this, so that's at Middle Raged.
Yeah, we won't see it.
Yeah, we won't see it, which would defeat the object. But if you share the pod with your friends and family, colleagues, blah blah blah, via the medium of a post on social media, we will, as a special treat, being that we are both authors, we will take your name and we will give you what we feel is an appropriate character. So, if you would like a gentle roast, now we can't guarantee that the character that we, based on your name alone, so if your name is Steve Smith, we might say that you're, I don't know, somebody from an indie pop band in the 80s who died of syphilis, something like that.
Oh dear. Yes, he might be a bad guy. He might get killed. That's what happens in novels sometimes, right? People die, people get tortured or just beaten into a pulp, or they might be the love interest. So you never know. You never know.
Or they might just be somebody just sounds dull. And I'm afraid if your name is Graham Brown, then we will probably just assume that you're a mid-level accountant.
NPC, like you're the shopkeeper or something, and you have one line in the book. That's it. And then that is something like, "You're
an irrelevance.
Here's your paper, mate. Yeah, off you go."
Thank you. But I'm sure that we'll come up with some inventive ways. That's if you want a gentle roasting and you want to be characterized by the medium of your name alone.
Yes.
Then you know what to do. Just pop something on social media, tag us in it, and obviously if you go on there, if you go onto Facebook and say, "Do not listen to these idiots," honestly, you're just an hour of your life you'll never get back, and then tag us.
That's not going to work.
Just don't listen again. Honestly, spare us. We can do without it.
Yeah, don't need the hassle.
Yeah. And thank you for not sending in graphic pictures of what were we talking about last time? We were worried. People going to pharmacies. Yeah,
I don't want to know.
Thankfully, we never got any, so that's all good. Excellent. I think that's about us done. So thank you so much if you've managed to get this far. Yeah, and tune in next time for more Middle Raging.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Goodbye.